This is Survival Pete coming at you with a quick video on this Friday, the 11th of March. I think it's day 16 of the Russian-Ukraine war. Just some developments since the last video that I did a few days back. The transfer of those 27 or 29 MiG-29 fighter planes from Poland to the U.S. to Ukraine was nixed because the U.S. and the NATO countries were afraid that that would be too much of an escalation that could drag everybody into a world war and potentially lead to a nuclear exchange. Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov doesn't think there's any danger of that, but certainly I think the United States government and the Western powers do. The other thing, 2.5 million refugees have fled the Ukraine to Poland and to the Czech Republic and Romania and other neighboring countries, and I think that number will continue. The lines are pretty static. One day the Ukrainians gain back territory, the next day the Russians take it back again. So there's areas along the front lines that are just changing hands every single day. Russians are beginning to inch forward around Kiev. That 40-mile-long convoy has dispersed and taken up positions, setting up artillery tubes and MLRS rockets to start sending fire into the capital city. No idea how long that capital city will be able to hold out under shelling, and no idea how long they will be able to hold out in terms of food and water and supplies. Same thing with Mariupol down on the coast, same thing with Kharkov over in the eastern part of the country. There are still 56 operational aircraft in the Ukrainian Air Force. They're running 5 to 10 sorties a day. So they're contesting Russian control of the air, but the Russians are still able to mount airstrikes and missile attacks, and they're beginning to hit the western part of the country now for the first time in this 2-week-plus old war. So the Russians have the advantage in numbers, the advantage in planes, tanks, trucks, artillery, APCs. They just have the advantage in numbers. He could call in more troops from across anywhere in Russia and bring them to bear in the Ukraine at any time he wants to. Those reinforcements are available. And that's one of the things that Russia's always done, especially back in the Second World War, is dominate by sheer numbers. And that dominance by sheer numbers, the weight of numbers, is, I think, what puts time on the side of Russia over Ukraine. So we still need to get weapons in there, support the Ukrainians as best we can. But when it's all said and done, they only have so many men, they only have so many planes, they only have so many tanks, trucks, artillery tubes, and so forth. And if we run out of men, who's going to fire the missiles, the Stingers, all of the different kinds of handheld type of weapons that we're sending them? That's a wrap for today, day 16, March 11th, Survival Pete.